Look, sir, I know this might have sounded crazy so far, but once I hit play on this cassette player, the fear in that lady's voice will convince you. I'm sure of it. Plus, after I play it, I can take you to the site she describes in her account. This thing is real. The claw marks in the trees I saw had cut down to the... Okay, right. Just press play then.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want the world to know, but I can't live with myself anymore, so I'm just gonna say it and hope someone finds this. My name is Ava Givens from Hookston, Kentucky, and I'm risking my life to tell this. If you found this tape in room number 47 at the Sleepless Stop Hotel in Frosby, Texas, then I'm probably dead and was not able to escape. Please get this to the right person or people. Don't take it to the cops. I already tried them, and that's one of the reasons I'm in this mess. You can't trust the newspapers or TV stations around here either. It's like all of Morston has been bought out by some underground government power or something. I tried mailing another tape out last week, but it was on the bed in my hotel room this morning. So this is my last-ditch effort. I'm a contract agronomist for the Dupree Company and was sent down to work with the Texas Bureau of Water Resources and the EPA to help fix the land that was destroyed by the newly formed collective called the Rhine Limited Group, formerly known as Rhine Limited of Morston Incorporated. My purpose here was to do soil testing for the proposed Superfund site in East Morston. Dupree was one of many companies put under pressure by the Comprehensive Environmental Response Compensation Liability Act of 1980 from extensive, if not irreparable, damage done to the environment by the careless disposal of toxic waste. It's real bad here. I mean really bad. The Rhine Limited Group is tasked with cleaning the land where 700,000 barrels of industrial waste were dumped from 1966 to 1972 in an old sand mine located on a 55-acre tract of land along State Highway 96 near Frosby, Texas. Now, as bad as that sounds, as far as Superfund sites go, it's not the worst. Not like pieces of Sully River in New Yankton. Most of my work here since January has been pretty routine. A seriously messed up environmental travesty, but routine nevertheless. In April, I sent in my first report on how the total amount of sludge and heavy metal levels at the Rhine Limited site is much worse than originally estimated. Not to mention, the groundwater under the site appears to be contaminated, with no possibility of it ever returning to normal. There's also a small subdivision called Rio Acres about a quarter of a mile from the site, and I have found that no natural barrier exists to protect its residents from contaminated groundwater getting into their water wells. You would think that poisoning a whole neighborhood and taking only 7 years to ruin this land for centuries to come, if not forever, would be the worst of it all. Well, it's not. Not even close. The highest concentrations are located in the former lagoon area, which might explain what I'm about to describe. I don't know if I'm telling you this or just trying to justify the existence of this thing to myself. It makes me shake even right now, just thinking about it. The first time I noticed something was on the way to my car after closing the main gate from the lagoon. I had parked on the left side of Gulf Point Road, which is a small paved public road that runs through the site and connects to Highway 96. There is a chain-link fence topped with razor wire and no trespassing signs on each side of Gulf Point. So, seeing as I was alone, I thought it was odd to hear heavy footsteps crunching behind me. When I turned around, there was a creature standing over 7 feet tall, tilting its head at me. I was in shock, too paralyzed to move, and so I just watched as it lifted its large arms with hook-like claws high into the air. The moon shined bright through them, and the horror of this thing eclipsed the night sky as it belted out a soul-shattering roar. The sound snapped me out of my stupor, and I bolted towards my car. As I opened the door, I heard a giant splash. But when I looked back over at where the monster had been standing, it was gone. As I drove back to the hotel, which unfortunately is not but a half-mile from Rhine Limited, I tried to tell myself it was the chemicals messing with my mind and the lack of sleep I was suffering from. The next morning, I went back out to the same site, and sure enough, there were some large, animal-like tracks leading in and out of the brown, sludge-filled lagoon. Of course, no one believed me when I said what I saw, except for one man. This man had been here since before I came to the site, and I never really knew anything about him. Hell, I still don't. Most of the other workers at the site said he was representing a private agency that Rhine Limited was seeking out for private funding, and other workers said that he may be part of the government. He definitely dressed the part of some silent, elite figure in the darkness. I was told by my supervisor to detail my account to him, and so I did. He had a fancy small tape recorder in the back of his blacked-out Suburban. I had never seen technology like that before. When I asked him who he was, he didn't answer me. And when I asked him if he thought we were safe here at the Rhine Limited site, he said, very coldly, to just do my job and stop talking about the creature. After that, I could hear clicks on any phone call I made from my hotel room, and there was always a large, black Cadillac following my rental car around. The reports I turned in would show back up with black marks throughout the pages, omitting anything that had to do with a living creature in the site, with a note attached that said to revise or else. So I complied, but the situation just got worse and worse. One morning in late May, a poor young mother showed up to the gate outside the lagoon site, holding what looked to be a lifeless toddler. She had long claw marks across her face and chest, and the kid was mutilated. She was screaming at the security officers that something was coming out of the woods in Rio Acres and slaughtering pets, but that last night it had attacked her child. She hysterically yelled about how she fought to get the child back from the creature's grasp, but it was too late. Once the thing sensed the body was lifeless, it finally let go and lashed out and attacked her before walking back towards the contamination site. She cried out, saying she had called the cops and then called an ambulance, but no one ever came. Not long after that, the black-suited man that took my statement and recorded hers as well the next day, we found her and the toddler's bodies in the lagoon. Mangled, crushed, and bloated with chemical burns from that damn creature of that fucking poisonous water. After that, I just did as I was told. I measured the soil and water to assess what would be needed as far as funding to clean and fix the site, which isn't even possible, and neither is my escape from this place. I have been here for almost a year now, and Christmas is next week. I just want to go home. I just want this madness to end. 17 people have gone missing since I've been here. Some residents, some Rhine Limited workers, and I'm afraid I might be next. Once they get the funding they need from the reports I'm making, then construction on the cleanup stations will start, and there's no way they are gonna let me go home. These companies and government agencies are just lying to save money. People must know the severity of this situation, and that it's more than just cleanup needed here. People are dying over this. Oh, God. I love you, Daddy. I miss you and little Tommy. You will have to care for him now. But please, understand, I have tried. But I have failed.
So, mister... Wait, I didn't get your name.
It's Eddie, Mr. Augie. My name is Eddie.
All right, Eddie. You can call me Doug. So, do you think your company can help? After hearing her story, I'm afraid to go to any of the authorities.
Yes, Doug. My company specializes in these kinds of emergencies. So, you said you can take me to this lagoon area she described. Man, I've never really been one for pets. However, I think you and I are going to get along just fine. I'm sure a lot better than the partners I've had over the last few years anyway. The 80s sucked, and so far, so is the 90s. But old Doug Augie came through though, don't you think? Yeah, this year is about to get a lot better. How does that one taste? You know, I hear fear tenses up the meat, although it might not work that way in humans. Either way, Johnny will not be happy if you eat all of our future patients, so let's get to training. What should I call you? Ah, I know. How about Doogie? Yeah, that'll work. Doogie, drop him! Wow, Doogie, you're a fast learner. Come on, let's get your big scary ass out of here. I have the perfect place for you. Do you like old ambulances?
All elements of Sirenicide are copyright 2017 Atrium Dynamics. Please visit sirenicide.com for more details.